much from it? Are both teams completely different at this point? What do you?
Well, we didn't get very much done at all against Pitt. They were a lot more in sync than we were. You know, we showed our inexperience. If I remember correctly, we might have set a record for how many times we put them on the foul line. I remember fouling them 94 feet from the basket, you know, on the end side, on the end zone, the end line, I mean. And it was just one of those games where we were not ready. We were not ready for primetime basketball. And we had 6 new guys we were trying to integrate into what we were doing. It was just one of those games where they outplayed us in every way. And we took a 9-point lead there in the second half, but I never felt comfortable, you know. So they taught us a very valuable lesson. And, it got our attention and set us back on our heels. I think our guys came back and refocused. So yeah, sometimes if you lose a game and it really helps you, and I thought that loss did something good for our team.
Like you mentioned, you came off and played so much better after that in another hostile environment. Was it a case of a loss allowing you to learn a lot about this team and how they were going to kind of handle this thing?
Well, let's say we learned some things about our team. A lot I don't really know because it was so early in the season. And we still learning. You know what I mean? We still learning more than anything else, the mental approach that it takes in order to stay at a high level. That's been the biggest challenge for us, and it still is, just trying to stay in what we call that magic moment, that level 5 of focus that allows you to be more concerned about the name on the front of your jersey than the name on someone else's jersey. And that mindset is elusive, you know, and we're all trying to find out how to tap into that focus. And that separates good teams from great teams, the teams that have the ability to do that. I was listening to someone and they was talking about one of the former coaches made the comment that the most important thing in February is the attitude of the locker room. And I think that's very important. Sometimes it could be more determined, sometimes it can be one of a lot of confidence, and sometimes it can be one where you don't have that much confidence. We try to find it, and I think we have a great culture. I think we're getting better. We just finding ways to win when we are not always playing as well as I think we're capable of playing. My goal is to see can we get everybody hitting on the best cylinders at the same time. And, the other night, obviously, we had one of our players, and the other player got injured, and we had 44 points off the bench. And but I look up, and 3 of the guys who started, Turk had 10 rebounds, but he's 0 for 8. Malik had, I think, 3 rebounds. He 1 for 4, and Anthony as well. So I think that I'm looking for the moment when we all just doing the very best they can, mentally, emotionally. I think physically we're talented enough where we can have a special mindset going.
First game now, Patrick's probably grown as much as anyone on this team. Just, I guess it's not unexpected, but just with the offensive consistency he's really found lately, just what's impressed you about his progress?
Patrick came in wanting to become a better defender and to increase his intensity for the amount of time that he's on the floor. And he really worked hard at learning how not to take possessions off, accepting his strengths as well as his weaknesses, working on his weaknesses and trying to even enhance his strengths. And so he has been void of the pressure because he was just trying to get better. And I think that has allowed him to make progress in some cases. Now, there's no doubt that he felt a little pressure in some of the games because he was in a position that he had never been in. But the two most important areas where he concentrated on was defending and playing extremely hard. And he has physical, he's gifted with physical offensive skills and athleticism. And now I think you're seeing the mental merging with the physical. And now we get a freshman who's more consistent.
How special is it for you that All-Star Weekend and a lot of these guys could be anywhere? They could be in Chicago, they could be anywhere, but they choose to come here.
Well, that was overwhelming to me, to have that many guys that are playing basketball for a living, that want to take a moment out of their schedule and come back and spend it here in Tallahassee with the fans and their teammates and their coaching staff. I mean, I was just overwhelmed and almost moved to tears to think about how far the program has come in terms of guys on All-Star Weekend spending their time here in Tallahassee, hanging out with their former teammates and with their teams and their coaches. I think that speaks volumes about where we are and how far the program has come.
And Patrick was talking about having conversations with Terrence Mann and Fee. Well, those guys even weren't his teammates. He's never played with them, but he still seems like he has a connection with those guys.
Well, I think that these guys are proud of what they have accomplished, and they're wanting to, and the guys on the team feel honored to be representing them and wanting to keep what they started going. So it's kind of bridging the groups, and the guys are always watching us play, and our players are always watching them play, and so that's a very positive sign that you like to see developing.
Will Devin be available tomorrow?
Now, how many more times I need to tell you guys, that I've always had the philosophy that I treat my program like it's my family. And when you start, you don't go to your next door neighbor and tell them when you spank your child, or do you?
I don't.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
I don't.
So, but no, in reality, I just think that that's just the way I handle it, and that way I don't get caught up in all the other stuff. I mean, I got great kids on my team, man. I love every one of them, and I don't think I have any kids that I couldn't invite in my home. So we don't have any real issues on our team.
How's MJ's? Is he getting the stitches out? Do we know? Will he be available? I mean, I assume he would be if he played Saturday.
I'm hopeful that he's available. I mean, that's about. I mean, I don't think there's any. What I can say is that we're trying to come up with some type of mask, that will protect him. Some type of, and that's kind of as a matter of fact, that's what we're doing at the moment. Trying to come up with some type of something that can protect that area. But he's responded, I think, very well.